Welcome to those people who have just joined. Thank you very much for coming on. My name is Boops Chauhan. I'm one of the advisors here at Wenta. We're just going to explain who Wenta is and what we do here. It's the first time you've joined us or never heard of us kind of stuff. We're a not-for-profit organization. We've been around for 40 years, so we celebrate our 40th birthday this year. And our core services are basically renting out office space, believe it or not. So we have 4 large sites based in Watford, Potters Bar, Enfield and Stevenage, and we rent out office space, be it sort of from starting off from hot desking to permanent desks to one-person offices to sort of entire floor areas. All our sites have on-site car parking as well, and some have cafeteria, and all of them do have meeting rooms as well that you can hire as and when you require them as well. We also do virtual services as well. So we've got rent a address, so you can rent one of our addresses if you're working from home or anything like that. You can certainly use one of our addresses just to make yourself look obviously as if you're working from offices and so on. It helps with SEO for websites as well. If you've got a permanent address to show for Google as well, that's ideal. So we've got that. We've got call answering services as well, so we can take calls on behalf of you in your company name if you're busy or not available, etc. And we have also mailbox facilities as well, so we can accept your mail, and we'll pop that into a mailbox as well for you to pick up anytime during our opening hours as such. Like I said, that brings in our core revenue as such, and it's plowed back into the business to create some more activities in the business as such. We also have, on top of this is where all our free services come for, basically all the business advisory services that we have here. So like myself, I'm one of the business advisors. There's another 5 of us here now. We're the growth advisor as well. And what we do is basically give you advice on starting your business or helping you with your business journey wherever you are, or even as an established business as well. So we're only a phone call away. You can make an appointment to speak to us via phone, via Zoom, or even face-to-face if you're nearby as well. Like I said, that's all free as well. Including that, we also do lots of webinars. So today's one obviously is about Wix and websites as well. But we've got a whole host of different webinars that we do: content marketing, business planning, cash flows, pricing, social media, Facebook, Instagram, loads more sort of webinars that we create in-house to obviously give you the heads up and make you understand as easily as possible that you can do most of these things yourself if you don't have the money, and a lot of businesses don't obviously. So to spend etc. with so and how you can do it basically quite cheaply as well, or freely on that side. So we have that as well. We sometimes have specialist advisors that come in. This morning we had a branding specialist coming in talking about branding as well. A few days ago we had a person specialist on LinkedIn, creating LinkedIn pages, personal and company pages as well. We've got cybersecurity, we've got accounting firms, we've got search engine optimization by Google Garage. So a whole host of different types of specialists that do come in and deploy these webinars. All the webinars are recorded, okay, and then you get a link for them afterwards as well, so you can watch them in peace and quiet as well, and revert over them. So that's what we do. We've got 2 brand new initiatives out there as well, which is the net zero, making you understand as a business what you need to look for, being sustainable as well, because this is what your clients will be looking for from you as a business as well. They want to make sure that they're buying green products, and you're going to make sure that you're supplying green products and being sustainable and in any which way possible. We're giving the bronze tier away out of our 4 tiers free of charge. Free sign up basically, no monies or anything that's required, just register and away you go kind of stuff, and then hopefully you'll move up into the gold sectors where you can get accredited as well. So do have a look at that. We've also got a savings tab where we've partnered up with lots and lots of partners to bring you discounted or free services, pointing you in the right direction of getting free services. discounted services, free consultations, whatever we can. We've done some deals with some partners out there. Things like getting a bank account, say with Tide, they'll give Wenta clients £50 free into their bank account once you've basically opened an account and put some money into there. We've got toolkit websites who are giving up to £500 off a bespoke website as well. So have a look at that. Insurance companies are on there as well, should you need any insurance or anything like that on there. So lots of savings for you. So do have a look on there. It's on wenta.co.uk, and all the information's on there. So that's everything about Wenta. So without further ado, let's dive into the webinar itself. During the webinar, obviously your microphone and your cameras are off. Okay, if you want to ask any questions, please pop them into the chat box and try and be interactive as much as possible. I like clients to ask questions and so on. If you're not understanding anything, that's not a problem. Just ask away and hopefully I can explain a little bit further or go over something for you as well today. So yeah, like to be interactive as much as possible, making sure that you're not all falling asleep as such. So today, obviously, introduction to Wix websites, and we'll look at a little bit of general websites, as well as going hopefully live onto a Wix platform and basically looking at that as well. So today's content, we'll look at the basics, getting a domain name, what makes a good website. We'll dive into the actual website building platform as well, Wix. Okay, then obviously we've got to do the next bits. Basically, you've got a beautiful website. How are you going to drive traffic to it? So search engine optimization, search engine marketing, and a little bit of social media marketing, SMM. We'll look at that. We'll look at measuring your success or not success, depending on how your website's doing and how well it's doing. And then we'll look into security and compliance as well that you need for having these websites nowadays. So why have a website in the first place? There's lots of social media platforms out there. I actually spoke to somebody yesterday and they said, well, the social media platforms out there, I don't really need a website. True, you certainly use your social media platforms out there to reach out to your clients. But a lot of people, I don't know about everyone else, but I do like to see a website. If I've got something coming up as a business or anything like that onto my news feeds for Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, but I want a little bit more information about what they do, how they do kind of stuff, then I want to go to their website and really sort of check them out. There is a lot of people out there who aren't allowed to go on social media for work relations and so on, or don't want to actually go on social media for, a number of other personal reasons kind of stuff. So where are they going to shop from? Where are they going to buy products from and see your products and so on? It's going to be a website because they can go to it. There's no limitations. They don't have to sign up to anything, etc. And they can go to a website which will basically relay lots of information. So a few pointers on the actual slide there. It's got, the kind of information that the website's going to give your clientele. It's going to tell you a story, why you're here, why have you created this business or these services, that, what's encouraged you to do this. Everyone has a bit of a story to go through, etc. So, it's a nice way of telling stories. Customers nowadays love storytelling, not just for marketing purposes, but, well, just not for your business and websites, but also for marketing purposes as well. It's a good way to say something about you as such. It's going to present your brand, and brand is just not basically logos and, your company name and colors and so on. It goes a little bit further afield. It's all about customer service as well, the kind of packaging you're producing, your presentation. A lot more goes into branding nowadays as well. So people recognize you for quality products or services as well on that side. So you'll be presenting your brand as well. You'll be showcasing your work. Obviously, that's what websites are going to do. Products or services that you have, it's going to be showcasing that work for you. It's going to be a place where you can show off all your products and services so people can buy those things from you, see what they're like. You've got different amounts of pictures and images on there with the descriptions, etc. So they can see that, yeah, okay, this is what I'm looking for and that's what I want, etc. So it's going to be a place, obviously, for showcasing your work as well. Showcase testimonials as well. And this is the essential part. you know, be it social media, be it websites, for any business, you need to take into this. You need to take this on head on. You need to grab reviews and you need to grab testimonials. This has become the norm now. You must do this and you must showcase them, because this is where clients will come to and they will have a look and they will have a read about what previous clients have been saying, previous or present, etc., what they're saying about you. And, you know, that's going to make them your client. That's going to tip them over the edge to buy something from you and make, you know, make them become your clients as such. If you don't have testimonials, you'll have a doubt factor. You'll give customers a doubt factor. No matter how good your product is or your pricing is, it'll give a doubt factor, okay? And they'll think about things before they'll actually commit. With a testimonial, if you've got positive ones all over there, then, you know, they're going to basically be tipped over the scales and they'll say, yeah, let me buy this. They've got good reviews. Everything's really, really good on this. It's going to be a place where you're going to be found online, especially mobile. Now, considering about 80 to 90%, I would say probably the bottom end, or bottom end of 80%. So you're probably around the 88, 89 to 90% of searches are done on mobiles. Mobiles meaning mobile phones and tablets. These appliances are on all the time, okay? It's easier for somebody to take their phone out and or tablet, you know, it's on standby, take it off standby, and then just click for the browser and they can start looking for it. So a lot more searches are done through mobiles and tablets. And this is why essentially you want to make sure your website is responsive. Okay, that means it works on all three platforms: laptop, desktop, tablets, and mobile phones. It's got to work on all of these, and it's got to resize carefully as well to make sure that they can see it on all three platforms, because you've got to do it. Like I said, a lot of searches, a lot of purchases are made through mobiles now than ever before. It's affirmation and your business as a bona fide entity as well. So it's going to be somewhere where clients are going to look for that trust factor and look at your website and see all your about us section, look at your contact details, all your address details. Everything is basically on the website itself, and that's what that's going to give them that trust factor to buy something from you. You can certainly put a mobile number on your website. You can put your email address, or better even as a contact us form as well. You can certainly go and get a virtual phone, voice over IP, to put a landline phone on your website as well, basically to make you know that just putting a mobile number and putting a landline number makes a massive difference these days. If you see websites with mobile numbers on there, basically, you're saying, oh, okay, I don't know. Then you look for the address. There's no address on it. Put a doubt factor into clients. But if you've got telephone numbers like a landline number, you've got a proper address on there. Like I said, you've rented an address or something like that. It just builds up massive client confidence, basically, to say that you're actually a proper business set up. You know, you've got landline numbers, you've got a bricks and mortar address as well on that side. So it just helps you give that lot more trust factor to your potential clients as well. It's going to be a place where you provide potential clients with customers with a shop window. Your website is no different to maybe if you went out onto the high street and basically rented a shop there, okay? You would have a nice frontage, nice window, you paint it all up, nice bit of signage, etc., lovely window display going on, etc. Your website is no different. Your homepage does all of that for you. That's going to make sure that receives attraction, basically. You've got a lovely homepage, simply set up, very, very easy to read, and it's all displayed with lovely images and so on, okay? And that's what it's going to entice clients to actually come into your website, look at the other pages and look around your website. It's going to be a place like that. So like I said, it's no different to a shop on the high street as such. It's got to be inviting, it's got to be straightforward, clear cut, etc., so that clients will basically come onto the web page, stay on the web page, because not just yourself, but search engines are looking at this behavior as well. The longer clients stay onto your website, the more interested search engines are in producing or promoting you, etc. Okay, so look out for these things and make sure the website's clearly designed, not too technical, not with lots and lots of long words and things like that, where basically people will get confused. Yeah, even though you might have a technical business or something like that, keeping your website in the simplest form, written in the simplest form possible, is ideal for all types of clients, and even for search engines to understand who you are so that they can show you up in the right search results areas. It's also a means for potential clients and customers to contact you. Like I said to you, a number of ways clients can contact you nowadays. You take a mobile telephone number, you might have a landline on there, kind of stuff. You'll probably have a contact form on there as well. And if they don't want to do that, then you'll have your social media links on there, obviously, that they can link through, and they're registered, or they're on one of the social media points, and they can message you through that as well. So loads of places where your clients can get in touch with you as well. But make it easy for them, like I said, a contact form's ideal to have, and nowadays a lot of people put contact forms in there rather than putting just their email address on there for them to click and obviously send you an email. So different ways on how clients can contact you. Just make it easy for them, because if they get frustrated, they can't find something on the website, the last straw is that they want to get in touch with you if you do the product or the size or the color of the product or whatever, and they can get a good, easy reply back basically on that side. Okay, and obviously that will create some sales for you that way. So a question for you guys, and let me have the answer in the chat box, please. There's no, like I said, there's no wrong answer to this. Everyone's going to ask you this question when you do come to create your website, or you are creating your website. What do you want your website to do? This will be asked, you'll even ask this for yourself. You'll even ask this if you're going to create your website for yourself. What do you want your website to do? Okay, and a developer will ask it as well. Pop it into the chat box. Let me see your ideas. Like I said, there's no right or wrong questions on this at the end of the day. Well, there's no wrong answers to this. Everyone wants something different to happen to their website, on their website. Let me see, what you want to, have on your website. What do you want your website to do on that side? So, let's have a quick look before inform the customer exactly what I'm trying to sell straight away. Absolutely can. Okay. Anyone else like to put input onto this at all? Any other ideas that you may have? What do you want, what do you want your website to do for you at the end of the day when you're getting it presented? Any other people want to input onto this at all? No? It's going to take money for your products. It's going to take money for your products. So your website's going to work 24/7, 365 days for you. If you have an e-commerce website or e-commerce products, basically, it's going to take money for you 24/7. Like I said to you, even while you're sleeping, you're going to be earning money on that side because it's automated now. People can buy things off your website, pay for them straight away, and obviously you'll get a little ping in the morning to say, hey ho, we've had so many sales during the evening or night, etc., or while you were away. So it's going to take money for you as such on that side. So it's going to be a self-checkout place as well. It's going to make people aware of your brand, business presence, and so on. It's going to be some place where clients can go to. Maybe they've been referred to you. Maybe they found you for search engines, whichever ways. But it's going to make people aware of who you are, what you do, and what you sell. It's going to provide a landing page for your social media promotions. So social media platforms, websites, and search engines all work hand in hand kind of stuff. Okay, now once you've got your website, you've created it, you've put it online, fine, you'll add a few bits and bobs to it every so often, and that's great. But when you want to do a special, some special offer or some brand new products that you've come across, and you really want to shout out about it, hopefully you've got a few followers on basically social media, then you'd advertise that offer, okay, directing them to come to basically your website or have a specific landing page for your website, giving them more information about the product and services that you have, and then initially directing them to purchase the product itself as well. It can be an online leaflet. A normal website can be, you can have a one-page website, straightforward, just like an online leaflet. Only difference is if you had an online leaflet, basically, what would happen is basically you'd construct that leaflet, you'd set it all out, you'd go to the printers, get it printed, and then you've got to distribute it, okay? Your website's no different to that. You'll decide on how you'll create your web page, what details you want on there, your branding, all your services and stuff, etc. And then obviously you'll pop that on, publish it, and then you'll obviously get it out onto the website, internet highway, as I call it, basically. You'll get it out there so that people can come along and see it on that side. The good thing about the website side is that basically what will happen is that if you want to make any amendments, add any services, take any services off or products or whatever, you can easily do that. With a leaflet, you can't do that. You're going to have to get everything printed again, or probably mask it over with a sticky tab or something like that, so it's not revealed and you've changed the price. Not very professional, but yeah. But if you've got 5,000, 10,000 leaflets, instead of going to waste, you're going to have to do something about it on that side as well. So it can act as an online leaflet as well. And some of the functionalities that you can do nowadays, so it'll allow people to make bookings and appointments as such, okay? There's a whole host of different widgets and plugins that you can add to your website nowadays, very easily done. So yeah, it's going to allow you to make bookings and appointments, just one. You can have a chat feature on there as well, so when people come onto your website, you can talk to them live, etc., and ask them about certain products and services or anything like that. You can have menus on there, you can have downloadable things, ebooks on there. You can have a whole host of different functionality going onto your website as you like for people to basically do. So the next question for you, how do you think people will find you? So once you've created that beautiful website, taking you weeks, probably months to do it, let me know how you think people will find you in the chat box. How are they going to actually find you? Again, there's no wrong answers to this, etc. Everyone's got a different way of basically, attracting people and so on. So how do you think people will actually find you? Or find your website itself. So yeah, Kat says Google keywords. Yeah, that is one of the ways where people will find you. Obviously making yourself available through sort of search engines. Techno says publicize through social media. Yep, Tech, that's good as well. Anyone else want to contribute any other way? How do you think people will find you? Because remember, nowadays, guys, it's not just creating a beautiful website, lovely pictures, bit of write-up on there, excellent, and then you publish it. About 15 years ago, that was the ideal thing. You create a lovely website, you published it, and you'll get passerby traffic coming through, and you'll tell a few other search engines, and that's fine. Nowadays, you're going to work a little bit harder. You may have competition and so on from other people, but you've got to tell search engines to help you to basically do these things as well. So it's a little bit more work involved than just producing a website as such. So a few examples here for Google, like Kat said, maybe keywords and so on. Okay, that's very important for you to do that. But search engine optimization plays a key part in basically people finding your website. And if you do everything as it says on the tin, optimizing your website for the search engine, then search engines will obviously show you up on the results pages as such. From your social media activity, okay? Somebody else put that in there. I think Tech put that in there. From your social media activity, that's when people, you advertise your business on there, your products or services, and then you get referrals coming through or links coming through basically to your website as such. Can also happen from other people's social media activities and likes. Maybe you're sharing your products and services on your Facebook or posts on your social media. And obviously, once you're sharing it to your personal self, people are then looking at the offer and the product to sell and liking it and coming towards your Facebook page, Instagram pages, or social media pages, and then coming to your website as such. It could be from your blog. Anyone looking to write blogs at all for your websites? Are you looking to write any blogs at all, or add blogs to your website at all at any stage? Anyone thinking of doing anything like that at all when they get their website? So Kat, not thought about it. Okay, no problem. I'll give you a few reasons in a second why you should really think about it. Anyone else thinking of putting sort of blogs onto their website or anything like that at all? No. Now, what a blog does, it gives a lot of information to clients, but it also helps search engines as well. When you write a blog, so if you write a blog, I'm not talking 4 or 5 lines of something. That's just an article. That's not going to help you to do anything. When you write a deep article about something, you use lots of images, titling, breaks, subtitling, bullet points, all of these kind of things, making an attractive article or blog to read, basically. A lengthy piece of work, as to say. Now that will obviously have, hopefully you will include a lot of keywords in there. Okay, so those keywords that you were talking about, you'll have those certain keywords in there that describes your business or your products or services in there. When search engines come along, they will scrape all of this information and index it like they've done for the rest of your website. But because it's got a lot of words and so on, that's what they get excited about. They index all these words, and whenever somebody type something into sort of search engines and they come up, they go into the indexing as such, and then they basically they bring up your website on the search engine results page, the SERPs page as such, and people click on it, obviously bringing the customer to your website. Now, once you've created your website, maybe 10, 15 pages, 5 pages, whatever it is, you'll be happy with it. You publish it, it'll be live, and happy days. You'll tweak about with it for a month or so, doing this, doing that, tidying this up, and so on. Or if somebody's made it up for you, that's fine, no problem, and you're happy. But when you create a blog, and what I'm saying, if you create a blog once a week, okay, that will add 52 pages of content to your website. So your website will grow quite extensively, but it's giving a lot of information to the search engines that come and look at it to say, okay, yeah, you do this, you do that, and you're using the appropriate keywords, they're picking that up from it, and that what will happen, that will drive traffic to your website. So like I said, 52 pages, just imagine, if that's once a week. Even you do one once a month, that's 12 pages still. You will never add those kind of pages to your website unless you've got lots and lots of stock and equipment coming through or services coming through. You'll never add so many pages to your website. So it's another way of building your website, making it bigger, but also, making sure that it all sort of goes out to everybody as well, and they can see it. So search engines will have a field day with websites that have blogs on them. Via links from other websites. So via links from other websites as well. So, what happens is we call it backlinks. Backlinks are basically when somebody has your website address on their website, etc., and then when they click on it, they bring them to your website, etc. You may be in collaboration with somebody. An ideal example I always give is that you might be a carpenter or a chair maker. So you can make the chair, but you don't like to do the upholstery and all of that. So you might be working very closely with a company down the road from you or wherever to who just do expert upholstery. So you might say, you know what, say it's, upholsters.co. You might say to them, hey, you know what, I can create any furniture the client wants, but upholstery is not my game. How about if I sort of direct some clients to you? So once my chairs or whatever furniture is made, I can direct them towards you, you upholster them, etc. And you do the same for me. Customer comes to you and they've got a lovely chair that needs upholstery. You'll say, fine, no problem. But then you'll find out once you've taken the upholstery off that it needs a lot more work to it, like, it's breaking and so on. That's when you'll probably pass the job on to me to say, okay, let's fix the chair up first of all, or sofa or a table or whatever. Let's get it strung back up again, and then obviously we can get it upholstered. So they're called backlinks, because that company would basically advertise your web address, you would advertise their address as well. Not easily done, it's a bit difficult, but search engines go wild when there's backlinks coming into your website. They think you have something spectacular to basically share. That's why there's links coming in from outside and linking to your website. So like I said, it's not easily done, but the easiest way I ever found personally is going on to online directories, Yale.com, Thompson's, just a few of them. There's loads more online directories out there. Get yourself linked up, get yourself sort of signed up to those, because it'll have your business name, it'll have, your telephone number on there, and you'll have basically sort of your web address on there. And that classes as a backlink. The more directories you go on, the more backlinks you're creating back to your website. And like I said, search engines they love that. They think you've got something spectacular to deliver, and that's what they'll enjoy and like, basically. So have a go at basically creating websites and links coming in from other sort of businesses as well. So domain names, things to consider. So keep it short and simple, okay? Try and keep your domain names short and simple as possible, because we humans, we forget very long names, okay? So remember about this. And plus, it's even harder to type it in, especially when it becomes your email address, or you want to come to the website address, etc. It gets a little bit difficult, okay? So the longer it is, it's harder, okay? And obviously avoid hyphens and numbers as well, basically. Hyphens tend to be okay, as as long as you're going to put the hyphen in the right place. That makes logic. Okay, numbers can be confusing. A lot of people can get confused with numbers. S and number 5 just pops to mind, which can take clients to different kind of websites if they do that. So be very careful with regards to using numbers and hyphens as such. Okay. Consider using keywords in your domain name. So cupcakes in Stevenage, or Stevenage Cupcake Shop. That's all keywords. Stevenage is one, cupcakes is the other. They're all keywords, basically. So you can certainly use certain domain names to identify your products and services and pop that into your sort of domain name as well. Using locality in your name, I don't see it being a major issue, but sometimes they make a different look. So if you're using, like I said, the cupcakes, Stevenage Cupcakes, if I was to move to Manchester, or basically wanted to Manchester, do something in Manchester, it'd look a bit odd, Stevenage Cupcakes kind of stuff. But having said that, it doesn't make a big difference nowadays. That could be somebody's surname at the end of the day, and that's why they've put Stevenage there, or anything like that on there. So, I wouldn't really make a big deal out of it. But think about it long and hard. Do you want to put a town name in? Should you move to a different town? What you're going to call your business, then you can't change your name, because people are still looking for you under that particular name as well, etc. And then I remember years ago, there was a model shop as a kid, and they used to be down a particular road called Portland Road, and they just used to do models and stuff like that. After probably 10-15 years, as I was a kid, they moved to the other side of town. Okay, it wasn't on Portland Road anymore. It was on the other side of town. It was on a different road. But luckily he kept the name as Portland Models as such. So because as when the internet came in, people could easily look him up, etc. But like I said, he called himself Portland Models as such, or Portland Road Models, something like that. But think about putting sort of locality in your name as well. Secure sockets layer, we'll talk about that in a little while. But make sure you buy the right extension as well. And you can basically check, any domain names that you're considering, any company names that you're considering. You can check this as pre-hand before you register them to make sure you've got all of those functionalities and all different types of social media platforms as well. So if you go to Noam, that will tell you, what social media platforms that your considered branding name is available on that you're going to get. And then obviously you can buy the right domain name in that order, basically. So everything's like I've got a blanket uniform name as such, instead of you having to call everything differently from domain names to your company house to your social media. If all those names are being taken, then you're not going to be able to use them. The UK has basically a registrar for all domain names that's called nominet.uk/whois. Okay, have a look on there. If you can't find your specific domain name, do have a look on there to see who owns it. Maybe it goes to a website, maybe that domain name doesn't go to a website. If it doesn't go to a website, you can go onto this registrar and it will tell you who the domain name registrar is. And maybe you can forward an email to the registrar to say, I'm looking to take this domain name over. Can you let me have the owner's details, etc. And or they'll work with you intermediately to basically let you know who the owner is and if they wanted to sell it or give it away or whatever. But double check, see if that domain name is going to something before, and if it is not going to someone, like I said, inquire for it. If it is and it's up to date, then unfortunately it's in use and you can't use that domain name as such. But like I said, there's loads of different registrars out there that you can purchase domain names from. Even though we're going to be talking about the Wix platform this afternoon and looking at that, you can buy a domain name directly from Wix as well, and then obviously move them on to be, attaching them to your website. But you don't have to do that. You can buy your domain names from any registrar and point them towards Wix if you wish to. Okay, there is no cut in service, no slowdown, nothing like that happens, etc. I myself have my domain names with somebody, I have my website with somebody else, and I have my emails with a different supplier as well. Okay, so if anything goes wrong, okay, which nowadays it doesn't, because the time when I was using it as such, servers had an uptime. They gave you a guarantee for an uptime kind of stuff. Sometimes they did go down. So if your website went down, at least your emails were coming through, and people will say your domain names, your website's down. I can't see anything on there. I don't know if you're aware, or we wanted to inquire about so and so, and you can reply back and say thank you for that, but yeah, we're having some technical issues and so on. So you with things separately, you can do that. Like I said, Wix, and nowadays it's gone really good. Servers, they have backup servers, they have all of that. So the one server goes down, another server kicks in straight away. There's not going to be no delays with basically your clients getting onto your website and using your website as such on that side. Like I said, there's nothing stopping you buying different extensions for your domain name. So you can have one domain name and lots of different extensions like co.uk, co.com.net, and they can all point to one website. They can all point to one website. It doesn't have to point to, you don't have to have 3-4 websites basically. You can all point to one website, etc. And that's ideal. Sometimes when you don't have .co.uk and .com, that's ideal. Remember, if you register .co.uk and a competitor comes along and register .com, and they have similar domain names, okay, they could piggyback off your advertising and pinch some of your business away. So be wary of that. Watch out for things like that as well. I always advise people to register a few domain name extensions like .co.uk, .com, just the common ones, etc., so that nobody can piggyback on taking your business away. Because if they come along, say example, if I registered books.co.uk and somebody came along and registered books.com, or I might do a lot of advertising and stuff like that. But if my if my competitors feed is basically, or if they're doing a little bit of marketing, they're coming up further in the search engines results page, then people will think that's me, click on it and go, and they'll find a product that what I'm doing in there as well. So I've lost that business, etc. on that side. That's why, like I said, and try and obviously register for multiple extensions so that at least you covering yourself for anything like that with any competition that comes along. Hosting is another requirement that you're going to need when you're actually deploying or getting a website done. Most developers will develop the website, then they'll say to you, oh, you've got to pay for secure SSL certificate, you've got to pay for hosting. Wix includes all of this, so there's nothing for you to worry about as such on that side. But it's a general thing I'm just going to talk about, where basically hosting is where a fast computer is attached to the internet, which has a few folders in there which contains your website. So somebody puts in your domain name, it comes shooting off to this server, and up pops your website, etc. They start from 16 to 20 pounds per month, as to say, for the small end of the market. You'll also need mailboxes for emails, so you're going to have emails coming through, and you'll have to have a mailbox for that as well. Check the size of your storage and space for your website, etc. Check all of these things on that side. The bigger the website, the more money, the more storage it's going to take, basically, and that means more money you're going to pay for hosting as such. Check the bandwidth provided in your hosting package. Okay, so make sure there's enough bandwidth there. Bandwidth is amount of clients can actually come onto your domain name, onto the server itself, and go onto your website. If there isn't much bandwidth, then what will happen is basically your customers won't be able to connect onto the website and interact with you, etc. Wix has no problem. They give you unlimited bandwidth as such on that. Speed is a very important thing to do with websites and loading times, okay? So when you're creating your website on Wix or anywhere else that you want to basically do, you want to avoid large files, because large files will take longer to load and so on. So when a client comes to you first time around, it's, you've got lovely pictures on there. If they're really full on pictures, that will slow you down. Now, we all take images and pictures with our mobile phones and so on. So when we do take those images, you have a look at the file size. 2 megabytes, 3 megabytes, 4 megabytes, sometimes even 5 megabytes, sometimes they go to. That's a very large file for, to load on a mobile phone, if they're on data and so on. Okay, so try and obviously bring that file size down. I'm not saying make a thumbnail or create smaller images or anything like that. Okay, bring that file size down, and it's called making images web ready. Okay, so they're lightweight, then usually goes into kilobytes as such instead of megabytes. Kilobytes is a lot more smaller. Okay, so make them small as possible without losing the clarity of the website, of the image itself. Okay, and this will make your website load up much quicker and faster as well. Okay, use a speed checker to see if there are any sort of loading issues. You can go to sort of Google test my website, and they will be able to test your website and see how quickly it loads up on their servers, etc. And they'll rank it and they'll say, yeah, good, bad, or not so good, etc. So make sure your website loads up very quickly. So speed is of essence here. You've got to make it lightweight as possible. Text doesn't take up much information, much space, or slow it down, but images and videos do. So be very careful on how you use images. Use them, make sure they're clear, they're fantastic. but make sure that the images are of a smaller file so that they can upload very, very quickly. Websites now need to load under 2.5 seconds. Okay, as soon as the client comes on, it should be uploading, and it should load in 2.5 seconds at least. So SSL certificates, again, these are included with Wix as well. They never used to be, but they've included them in the last couple of years, etc. So what does SSL certificates do? So as you see there, you've got the green, basically padlock there, okay, and you've got the S on the end there. That stands for secure. Originally, without the S and no padlock, this is what used to happen. You send a remark to the server, it comes back from the server in good old plain old English, as to say. So that's what happens. You can easily basically have that on there, and anyone that comes across that data in the internet can read it, intercept it, and take care of basically the web server itself, or go in, enter into your folders, and obviously do whatever they need to, something naughty, I assume. When SSL is there, when the SSL certificate's there, you see the S on HTTP, and what happens with basically data comes back and forth. So data goes to the server, comes back, and it's all scrambled or encrypted. Nobody can make head or tail of it. So it keeps it secure. We've had this for a very long time. When we go to e-commerce websites and we buy with credit cards, all our credit card details are all sort of encrypted like the data over there. Nobody can make a head or tail out of it at the end of the day. But in the last sort of decade or so, we've moved away from sharing emails on our website address, so sharing email addresses, and we've put contact us forms, which means there's a lot of data of a particular person coming back and forth. Their name, their telephone number, maybe their email address, maybe their physical address. It's all going through the website, so they've got to keep it secure. And this is one way of basically doing that for you. Right, Wix. So we're going to try and dive into, obviously, go into the main page as such, the portal, and show you around on how Wix actually works. Here's a sample of roughly what they charge. They change their prices quite often and do all sorts of different offers on there, but lots of things on there for you to see on what they include. So most, they provide secure online payments. They do personal websites and they do business and e-commerce websites. So there's two different types, depending on the cost changes for different ones. But they've got secure online payments. They've got plans and recurring payments, customer accounts, so that people can have their own account. They can log in and so on, should you have any products and services like that. You can get a custom domain name from Wix, and it's free for the first year. Okay, it's included in the subscription if you wish, or you can buy it from anywhere else you wish. They will remove Wix ads. When you're playing with Wix, etc., when you sign on and you play about with Wix, it's free to do so. They don't need any money. You can create websites, as you'll find out in a second, basically, and you'll be able to do that, but it does have Wix branding all over, placed all over it. Once you subscribe, that Wix branding is all removed. Bandwidth, like I spoke to you, is unlimited. Obviously the pricing goes towards storage space, on how much hosting space that you require, and it changes. If you're not sure, then start off with the cheapest one, sort of start moving your way up to different kinds of tiers on whatever space that you need. Again, video hours, how many videos that you can upload, and total hours that you can upload to the actual website. You get ad vouchers as well. So something like for Bing ads or Google ads, £80 is there, but sometimes it could be a lot more, etc. So you can have a go at basically looking at those vouchers or using Google ads and so on. You'll get customized report, and you'll also get customer care as well. So have a look at all of those, see what's best for you, and then obviously register as you wish. Once you go to wix.com, okay, you'll come to this screen or a similar screen. It may have changed recently, kind of stuff. Get yourself signed in. you know, just get yourself signed in, and obviously just follow the prompts afterwards. I'm just going to find my live version, so bear with me while I have a look at that. Go. Sorry about this, just bear with me. It's just loading, taking its time. There we go. Okay, so as you see here, when you go to this screen here, it says, what kind of website are you creating? Wix has this sort of AI editor where basically it start asking lots of questions and things like that and try and pick the template out for you. And obviously other sections and factors as well, kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of it basically because I've used it once or twice, but I never really got on with it as such. But if you want to search for, so maybe you're a coach or, you know, so let's type coaching in here. What we're going to do is let's move this over here, which will be better. Because that will be live. So coaching and so on, you know, you type in, and then there's loads of different types of coaches that come up. Gardening, if you have a gardening service, etc. Maybe you've got some business services that you offer, etc. Business development service, management consultancy, whatever you kind of have, basically, you can pop that into there. You can start choosing from there and do the AI automatic thing, which it will just carry on basically creating for you at the end of the day. But like I said, you know, let's skip here. And we'll go on to the next one. We'll go into the next, we'll press skip again. We'll go into the next section. We don't want any of these at the present moment. So if you wanted to add any functionalities to your website, a chat box, any bookings or calendars and stuff like that, event sections, there's blogs and all different types of things that you can add basically to your website. We're not going to add any of them. So we'll just skip on all of that. You'll come up with this, and what we're going to go is begin with the template. Just choose that basically. Okay, and these are all the templates. There's all templates all on here. These are now ready-made. They're all ready-made websites. Okay, they're all ready-made websites as such. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, there we go. These are all ready-made websites, so they're all ready to use. You've just got to change your basically stuff that's on there. Let's just have a quick look into one of these. So if we click on that, that is a straightforward website that's already been created. It's got a layout on there. You can edit any of this text and so on that you want to do. And so on. The important part is, you know, you got pages up here. All these different pages have been created already for you. All you've got to do is push, you know, put your data in and so on. And it's very area. You've got services that you can have. You've got planning and pricing should you go. So if you like this, then you can go for it. It doesn't mean that because, say, for example, you like the rest of the website with the planning and pricing bits there, it doesn't, you know, you could get rid of this page, that's not a problem, or you can amend it and show something else on there. You can actually do whatever you like onto the templates itself, change it about as much as possible, etc. Okay, but this is like I said, this is all there as a, you know, what you would like kind of stuff. Let's go back to the home page. Here we go. So we're at the home page, and you can start scrolling down and, or, you know, get functionality. If you wanted to edit this website, you just go on to edit here, click edit. You'll open it up into another tab. Just takes a little while. A bit slow today, I think, and the internet, but just bear with me. Why is this taking its time loading up? Oh, there we go now. Okay, so here we go. This is the page. I'll show you a little bit about AI a little bit later as such. Okay, So let's just close that for now. So this is the website. You can easily scroll down it. It's zoomed out at 50% at the end of the day, so it gives you a sort of a stand back view, etc. But you'll be working on sort of this kind of rate, okay? So you're zoomed in and you can see everything on there. Now, if you want to change things or anything like that, you can easily do any of these things on here. Say, like I said, there's data in here and so on. So if I click on this, you see blue boxes turn up, okay? If I double click on it, I can edit the text, okay? And I can start putting everything in there. They've got this create AI text as well functionality now. So what happens with this is that it's so clever. It's really easy to do. AI text there. So it says, what's your business type? So what should we do? What was this website about? Is it business coaching? I think it's business coaching, wasn't it? So let's put in there business coaching. Okay. What's my white website business name? Okay. Was there a business name on this? Yeah, let's have a look at it, James. Okay, so we pop that into there. Okay, it's a paragraph we want. What is the topic of this? So what's it about? You want maybe to write your about name. Okay, so just put in there what's important to mention. Experience coach for 10 years. So put that in a little bit on there and you press create text. Okay, look what happens in a second. It gives you a couple of options, 3 options. Okay, don't know if we're gonna make this window bigger. No, I can't. But from the details I popped in here, this is what it gave me. As a business coach with over a decade of experience, where it's picked up from here, okay, I help entrepreneurs and leaders get to the next level by developing effective strategies, systems, and structures, by identifying where they are now and so on. It gives you a whole write-up, okay, again, and it gives you another way of rewriting it for yourself, etc., and another option as well. And if you want to use any of it, you just use text, or you can copy it, etc., and you can pop those details into that. So if I wanted to do option 1, I'll do that, use text, okay, and that should have popped into down here. There we go. That's all been done and fitted in for me already. Okay, so really a really essential way and real nice way of basically popping things and creating something. Sometimes you get a mind block and you don't know what to actually write, but that you can do anything with that as you wish on that side. And that's there. And then what happens is, I'm going to show you a little bit around the actual platform, but once you've actually popped something in and changed it around, you can preview it before you publish it to make sure it looks perfect once it does go live. Okay, so this can really be a helpful godsend, that bit. So when you create your website, you want to see how it looks, how it functions and so on. But even after that, when you make any adjustments to the website and all of that, you want to make sure that basically the website page or amendments that you've made are working correctly before you publicize it. That's where this can help you, obviously. Like I said, it fits in correctly, it fits in nicely. So we're pretty good with that. Let's go back to the preview version, okay, before the preview as such. So that's how literally all that works. The main functionalities around the website are basically the site tab up the top here, okay? Here you can see site history, okay? So when you click on that, if obviously there's nothing being done on it today apart from that little change that I've done, but if your website was developed and out there kind of stuff and you change something on it, it will log every single site history every time you press the save button here, okay? And even when it automatically saves it, it's set to automatic, I believe. Just have a look here. It should be. It's not coming up. There we go. It should. Usually it says save next to it there. Save. Okay, there we go. It's saving it. Usually when you go over there, it says save is automatically sort of done. Yeah, but it's not for some. Oh, here we go. Auto save is on. So it does save it every so often, but I, as a personal choice, when I do a lot of work on the websites or anything like that, I always click save every so often to make sure it has saved it, and it's basically created a restore point at the other side. Okay, it's just like when Windows have that restore point. If you loaded or put a driver or uploaded some software and you didn't want it or it didn't work well and you wanted to revert back to what it was, you got to the restore point. So that's what that does. Look, there's a time functionality and days and so on. So throughout the day, if you're using it, it'll save it, and it'll give it to you by time as well as the date order as well. So that's the main functionalities around there kind of stuff. Okay. Over here, basically, these are your pages that you've got on this page. So there's lots and lots of different pages on this one. Okay. What you can do is you've got then the desktop view. Okay. And this is the mobile view. So you're actually going to be creating your website for your mobile side as well at the same time. Okay. Whatever you do on a desktop, it will copy that and pop that onto the mobile side. And then you can go and come and sort of tweak this once you've made your main desktop site. Only amend this once you've actually fully made your desktop site. Okay, because it will copy everything from your desktop website over to the mobile site. And then if some things don't look too well, you can adjust it. It doesn't mean if you adjust it on here, it will change anything on the main website on the desktop. It will just change the mobile side of things. Don't change too much, just change a few functionality issues and loading issues. Sometimes that happens. And that's what it will do. It will show you down here that it's hidden a couple of things. It hidden column 2. So it show you there was a column down there and it's hidden that, and it's hidden another column over here somewhere as well. Okay, because it didn't look too good, etc. So that's what it does. But you can have lots of functionality by adding quick action bars back to the top button, which is this down here, welcome screen, and different theme colors and all of these things that you can add and do as well. Okay, and you can certainly view it as well, like a normal mobile phone. This is what it looks like when it's on a normal mobile phone. There will be slight differences between Android and Apple. Okay, there will be slight differences, and you've got to tweak that out yourself. So ask a friend or somebody who's got an Apple phone. Then you can look at it on there, or Android, or vice versa, kind of stuff. Yeah. Back to the webinar, back to the sort of editing page and onto the desktop version. Okay. You also, if you're really good, you've got development mode here as well, dev mode. So basically you can go into doing JS code and so on, but I don't bother. I've always used the functionality of straightforward using the templating and the editor that they've got here. It's quite powerful. You can hire a professional if you wish. Okay, they do have a lot of professional companies out there which will create your website for you. Help functionality is there, and it's pretty good as well because they want you to create this website yourself. So they provide lots of online help functionality as well. And if you can't get in touch with them, you can't find anything available on the help functions, then you can get in touch with them for a lot more, in-depth help as such. Along the side here is once you're happy with your website, you can certainly start to upgrade, which will get rid, you'll get a free domain name, you get rid of the Wix ads, etc. And you can also start connecting to Google Analytics as well to see how everything is performing for you as well. The save button, the preview button, and obviously we've got the final button, which is publish. So once you're happy with it and you connect it to a domain name, click publish, and it will basically get published out onto the internet as such. So people, if you give them your domain name, they will be able to come and see your website as such. Down here, you've got the normal undo and redo buttons, 100%, where you can zoom in and out of your website like this and have a sort of stage back look and such. Okay, so you've got that functionality on there. And you've got some more tools along here, toolbars and rulers and things like that that you can basically add onto there as well. Changing things is very, very easy as such on that side. I'm going to jump onto a different website rather than obviously spoil this one. So just bear with me while I find the other one. I'm just going to close this down. I don't want to do anything on this one. Let's go to here. There we go. And obviously I'm just going to get rid of this. Every site that you visit or template that you create, okay, it keeps a draft of it in here. It keeps a draft of it in here. And it says it's not published, not published, not published. And if you publish it, then basically it will show published and show you the domain name on it as well. So if you make any mistakes or anything like that, you can easily, you think, oh my God, I've made a right sort of mess with this website. I really wish I could start again. You can do. Just go, like I said, exit out of it and obviously go to create a new site. Click on the right-hand side and it'll take you back to the templates. Choose that template again, choose a different template and start working on it again. Okay, it's easy as that. Okay, it doesn't mean that you've chosen one template you can carry on. There's a number of templates that you can see on here already that I've played about with and shown customers and so on. But we're going to work on this one here. So we're going to select that one. This is the one I usually play about with as such. So just waiting for that to load through. And then we're going to edit site. This quickly is the sort of backbone of your actual website. So loads of things that you can attach: booking services, booking calendar, orders. You can have e-commerce websites on here, marketing, SEO, analytics reports, all of this. It functions really well with Google. Wix plays, is a good partner with Google basically, which, is ideal because it is one of the biggest search engines out there. It's actually leading all the search engines by, the market share is about, I think they have 95% of the market share. The rest of, the Bing and the Yahoos and all of that come into that 5% as a combination of those. So literally we've got to follow really what Google says so that we can make sure that our business is seen on the internet as such. Okay. But here you have a lot of functionality. Like I said to you, you can do lots of things on here. But at this precise moment, we're going to edit the website. So we're going to go on to edit, just wait for it to kind of load as such. Is everyone okay? Any questions so far from anybody? No? All good? So here we go. Here's a template that I've been sort of playing about with as such. Okay, so we've got this there. Just going to get rid of a few things. We'll just show you how to add on a little bit later as such. Okay. So we've got this website here. We've got obviously the menu structures here. If you click on the plus side here, okay, that will come open. This is where all your elements are to add everything to the website. So if you want to add text, it's all down here, be it titles, paragraphs, etc. Image, okay, we've got it here, little buttons and so on. All of that information goes down here. Gives you loads of images, images and so on. Okay, you can import and upload your own images as well from your computers, etc. You can upload your own images on there, or you can use obviously any of Wix's images as well, which I'll show you now. If I click on show more, this is where all your images will be kept for your particular websites. You can have them in folders as well. So everything will be kept here. If you look down the bottom here, you've got media from Wix. It's free to use. You can basically pick it or search for anything that you want on there, etc. So before we were looking for coaching as such, so go into coaching, press enter, And there's different types of coaching that will come. Obviously, you need to obviously narrow it down. We might do business coaching, etc. So let's see what comes up with there. So we've got business coaching, different types of images that you can basically use here as well. Okay. You've got Shutterstock as well, basically, which is premium images. Okay, they cost you, that's £2.8, etc. It'll give you the price, and you can certainly download and amend them as you kind of go along. You've also got Unsplash as well, which is high resolution images, etc. As you can see, they're really, really nice and powerful images, and you can certainly use them. Remember about having to use high resolution images, because using that can probably slow your website down. Okay, and so what you can do is download them, make them web ready, upload them back again, and then away you go, kind of stuff on there. But all your site files will be kept over here for all the images and things that you use for your website itself. You can create buttons, which I'll show you in a little while, for anything that you do. So there's lots of things that are made here. You've got strip here, basically. If I come here, which I'll show you in a second. So strips are basically, now let's have a look at the website here. If you can see the website, I've just zoomed out of it, and they've got all these little sections. So section welcome, then you've got this section categories, and you've got product list section. Down here, you've got news section, etc. Now, if I thought, you know what, I want to have something in here, but how am I I'm going to have to move everything down bit by bit by bit. So what you do is basically you go over on here because you forgot to add something, and you say, well, I want a little section to go in here. So what should I do? Classic. What's in there? Classic. Say I do the classic. Okay, so I just do that, put that into there. Okay, that's dragged and put a section in there. Might not want the in the image in there or anything like that kind of stuff. So I can certainly change that. I can just have a color in there. I can go with gradients, and I can go with different gradients that I want, etc. All of that is in there. Maybe a wrong color to use, but yeah, whatever color I want, I can choose out of the palettes here. If I need more colors, I've got colors here, or I can use basically the RGB colors or the hex codes, etc. And I'll put that into there. Now I can add anything else in there. If I wanted to add text onto that, I can certainly go onto text. Okay, it gives me an idea of what kind of text I want to choose. What do I just want to use normal text? Do I want to use special types of text? Maybe I want this hello. I'll pop that into there. And when everything's boxed and center and shows you grid lines and middle center lines as well. So now you'll see those purple lines. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on your screens. You see these little purple pink lines. That tells you I'm exactly in the center of that box and then center of the website as well. And I like that there, and happy days. I can change the text in there, and I can say, welcome. Let's put it that way. It's narrowed down, so I'm going to basically widen this text box up a bit. Okay, and that's gone. So what's happened to that? There we go. I think I narrowed this down too much. There we go. Sometimes it will throw you out a bit, unfortunately. And all you've got to do is press, because if the word becomes too long, it will just jot out on that side. But like I said, if you want to, I'll put a shorter word in, I'll put by in, and that will change it, kind of stuff, etc. And I can customize that design particularly as well. So if I click on customize, I can change a different media that's in the background there. The coloring is being used. Let's maybe go like that or like that. There we go. I can do a whole host of things. As you notice, as I move my mouse over, I don't have to choose a particular color. I can move my mouse around, okay? And then what will happen is basically it will show you what it looks like before you commit to the color that you do. Even if I commit to this and I'm thinking, oh, that's happy days, that's all good, I can always go Okay, just go back. Oh, where is it? There we go. Starting to do that. There we go. Okay, and you can easily basically do all of that. If I like it there, then I'll leave it there. If I don't, I can just delete it and just highlight it. Even if the strip is there and I don't like it anymore, okay, just highlight it all the way around, okay, and press the delete button, and away it kind of goes, okay, and that's that section, and that goes there, and it's brought it back all in line. Oops, I deleted something too much here somewhere. Oh, that's extended that. That's why. So just drag that up and away we go. There we go. Okay, and my website is now back to how it used to look. If we step outside, there we go. It looks exactly like that. There's so many changes that you can actually do. The next bit I'll show you is basically, obviously, going through the elements side. I'll just carry on showing you. So there's a whole host of different types of elements you can do. Decorative, you can put boxes in there. There's galleries in there if you want to show some sort of photographs or galleries or something. You can do that. Menu and anchor. So menu functionality, I will go through that in a second, but anchors are basically where, you know, you click on something and it takes you exactly to that. You know, if you've got a link set up and you want it to go to a particular place on a page, not a particular page, a particular place on a page, then you put the anchor there, and that link, once it's clicked, it will take that person to that actual particular place. So if I wanted to drop right down to the bottom of the page for my contact page, then I could put an anchor down there at the contact page, put something at the top, which is contact, and basically it will just go straight all the way down to the bottom as such. So you've got different types of menus that you can choose from, okay? You've then got contact forms as well, so you can create your contact forms and pop them into your website as much as you like. You've got subscription, registration forms, subscription forms. You can pop in Google Maps as well, forward maps, whatever you want to do. You've got your Wix chat functionality there as well. That can pop up on the right-hand side, or you can see the little button down here. That's already there. You can add video and music, okay? So I'll show you how to add videos to it in a little while, okay? And the list goes on. You can embed code in there as well if you wish to, if you're good at code. Payments, CMS in there, and the list goes on. So do have a little play about with it. You're not going to make any mistakes. If you do, you can undo it, redo it. Or if you've done too many and you think I messed it all up and I'll start again, you can just basically go off and go and get another template, okay, and delete this one or keep it on the side and start playing with another one as such. Over here, basically, these are the strips, like I told you. These are the blank strips that you can add sections into. Okay, these are your site colors here, okay, and just some of these other things on here, basically, which is the app market. So if you're looking for particular types of app, most apps are free, some are actually chargeable, okay, or some are only available on a premium level, etc. Okay, so it will tell you what's free. So you got free plan, 14 days trial, and then obviously you've got to start paying for it. So also all different types of different functionalities on here that you can basically use. Here we've got obviously your content management system and such, okay, with Wix bookings and all your, you know, any payments that have come through, all of those kind of things are here. Your images are down here, and there's other functionalities on here as well. Sorry, that was the CMS. The other one was obviously where the payments are coming through. And this is a new one. They've added this there, and that's your marketing and SEO. So you can do all creating branding, marketing emails through here. What Wix want you to do, they want to make you stay on the platform, and they want you to do all your marketing, branding, everything through here. Years ago, you know, when I was using it, when it first came out, And there's, believe me, there's a lot of functionality being added to this now. But before, you had to do everything separately. You would have to have your website. If you wanted to do newsletters and marketing, you'd have to go off and find another platform to do that. You can interconnect to your social media from here as well now and post straight directly from here, etc., to your social media posts and so on. But Wix likes to handle everything, so it's trying to bring it in an all platform experience here, so everything is actually on site for you. Just looking at the menu, so we've got this menu structure here. So if I click on it, okay, if you double click on it, it comes up with manage menu, navigate, settings, all layout, what do you want kind of to do, etc. If you want it left justified, right justified, center alignment, you can do that. Items fill the whole menu. We're not going to get much out of that because it's quite stretched as it is already on there. Let's look at sort of changing it. So this is our menu there. We've got all of this on there. We can change it to different types of menus we have here. And maybe we'd like to go for this color here. And once we click it, we can actually customize it. We can change the color of it. It's beige. Just move around and we can do whatever colors we want. We'll go for this pink color here. This is having rounded corners, shadows, text, what color text you want. What we'll do, we'll change that to white so it stands out a little bit more. Again, you can pick as many colors as you like from obviously down here, from the hex codes and so on. Okay. So all that functionality is down here on that side. This is going to be managing your menu. Okay. So if you can see along the top here, we've got obviously all these kind of titles and menus and so on. Okay. So what you can do, if you press manage menu, I've got copy of eat. So if I wanted to make that disappear and become a sub menu of eat, and if I wanted play to be up the top here, it changes automatically on the menus here. If we go into the preview here, okay, you'll see that a copy of eat has just dropped down here, and you can change the coloring of this and way it looks as well on there. Okay, hopefully we like that, then we keep it. If we don't, okay, then we can change it back again. We can just click on that manage menu, okay, and we'll like that to be part of the main menu. Maybe we don't want this copy of the eat, we'll just delete it. Okay, but if you wanted to create another page for yourself, you could easily do that. Basically, you can go onto a page. So if you go onto a page, this is the play page, and you like the functionality and how it looks on there, and you think I want a similar page, but I'm going to change the rest of it. All you've got to do is, where is it? Duplicate. Just duplicate. Okay. Okay, and it's made another copy of that play page. Okay, it's made a copy of it, and you can change the name of it. You can change it to whatever you like. Okay, and if I do that, that's that page there basically. Okay, and that's a full functioning page. So if I wanted to preview that, that's there, straightforward, all sitting there, etc. Different page there. Let's just go to that page. There you go. And then we'll do that. That's a different page. Okay. So you can make your pages really do whatever you wish to and change things as you go along. Let's have a look at settings, see what's in there. We don't want to go into settings. I was just looking for another functionality of layout. There was another functionality that oh, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. As you see, the menu is stretched now to the full width. If I wanted to bring that down, just clean that. Okay, then that's basically narrowed it down. We'll have a look at this. And then we can move that around to how we want to look. If I wanted to break it even smaller, I can do that. And this more button comes along because there's so much functionality in there. Okay, but you can narrow these things down. Again, it will give you a page, there we go, centralized that way, move it that way, it's centralized that way now. So that's in the middle now. We can preview that, see how that looks. So you can either have it full length stretched, okay, or you can narrow it down to different levels as well on that side. We've got, obviously, this is so if I show you this you'll understand it's basically a slideshow. So it's going to slide either left or right or up and down as such. Okay, so this is what it does, and then you can fully manage that as well. And that's got a video in there as well. I can go into there, double click onto there, and you get your menus, and you can manage the slides 1, 2, 3, 4. I can put them in any order I like. I can put that, you know, there if I wanted to, etc. Add more slides to it, which I can do. I can change the slide background if I wanted to. Maybe I'll have just oranges here. There we go. That's just changed to oranges. Or you can get images from, you know, upload them up, or you can have them from basically you know, you use them from the Wix Media Library as well. And you know, if you look at it, you can just go preview. Okay, and that's changed on order now. And then you should have the oranges there. There you go, oranges and lines there. And you can just change all of that menu structure as you kind of go along and how you want it as well. Just double clicking it again, and you can, you know, design it. You can have different types of scrolling going on, scroll buttons that you can change, navigation arrows. These are in black, so I can change them to different colors I want. Can you see that? There we go. I can change as much as I want. There's so much that you can actually do with Wix. It's unbelievable to make your website look really efficient and cool. I'm just going to dive into the slide section to see where we are. Okay, we picked a template, we edited it. It's about 3:30, so shall we have a short break? Does everyone feel okay for having a short break, a 10-minute break, and then we can obviously resume afterwards. Don't disconnect, stay on, and then we'll carry on basically after the break in 10 minutes time. So I'll see you back at 20:04, guys. See you back at 20:04. If you've got any questions, please pop them into the chat box. And then we can obviously answer those as we kind of, you know, come back as such. Yeah, thank you. Hi, welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much. And I can't see any questions, so I assume everyone is all okay. Like I said, if you do have any questions, please pop them into the chat box as we kind of go along. And obviously, if you've got any questions to ask as such. So a little bit about functionality and usability of sort of website pages as such. Make sure that you have a purpose for every page on your website. If you create any pages, it's got to be very clear and show what that information, that particular information on your website. It has to be clear and straightforward. Do not repeat from your home page or any other pages information to all different pages. It's not going to help you. It's no good for you. Clients will get bored and actually drop off basically at some stage. Okay. The whole purpose of your website is to keep them entertained, keep them on your website, and keep them interested as well. And a lot of functionality comes into play with that to make sure that that does happen. Your communication is key. Your website visitors want information quickly. They should be able to read the information quite quickly and digest it. If you have a full page of basically just information with loads of writing, as soon as they look at it, they're going to move away because they're thinking it's going to be boring. Okay, but if you break it up into small bits with images, videos, subheadings, bullet points, all of these kind of things, that keeps them a little bit entertained. Okay, understanding what it's like. So they're reading short bits of information, but getting that whole information at once as well. You've then got, the navigation side, which is the most important part. I came across a website yesterday, I think it was, when a person said to me, can you have a look at my website and see what you think of it? So they had a little banner going across, basically, which is sliding, and it was a clickable one. So I clicked on one of the offers that they had. It didn't take me to the offer. It took me somewhere else, totally. Every single banner I clicked on, assuming it will take me to that product actually itself so I can get more information, it was just taking me somewhere else. And I said, look, this is no good because it's, I'm interested in whatever, the item I was clicking on, and it was just taking me to somewhere else, which wasn't good. So navigation is really key. Even when your menu structures, etc., people want to get really quickly around your website, find that information that they have. And you're going to have to put products in different categories to make sure that they find them clearly as well. So navigation is really key for basically understanding on how clients can move around your website very quickly and swiftly and find the products that they kind of need. Mobile friendly, we've spoken about that already, to make sure your website is responsive and works really well. Okay, so making sure that basically it loads up on tablets, on mobile phones, considering the amount of basically searches that are done on mobile phones and tablets nowadays, nearly 90%. Okay, so that means there's a lot more people on these kind of appliances than they are on on laptops and so on. Quick loading times is essential for search engines as well as your clients as well. Your clients don't want to be sitting around waiting for your website to kind of load. If they do, or if it's slow loading, then they will just move away. They will go back to the search engines results pages and basically click on the next website down, next link down, and move on to there. They're not going to wait for something to load up. Okay, people are very, very impatient these days. If they can't get the information very quickly, then they actually just go backwards and move off your website, and that's that's not going to help your business at all. So make sure it's quick loading. There's lots of platforms out there that can time you and give you the correct time on how quickly it takes to load up your website and so on. So certainly use that. Like I said, images and videos will take up most of the room, and obviously cause problems for basically load times. So be very, very sort of cautious about things like that at the end of the day. Make sure your images are web ready, and I'll show you in a way how to get sort of a light videos onto your website, but in a lighter way than actually uploading them up as such. Here's the many structures which I obviously showed you before as well. So editing the site, we went through that as well. I'm going to show you something else that's basically quite essential when you're adding images and videos to your website. Just bear with me while I find the actual web page. Here we go. So here we have some images down here. So when you're going to add some images, you're going to obviously click on that, okay? And let's say, where are we? Change image. So we're going to change image. We're going to look for something, maybe get it from Media Wix, etc. So we'll look at a tropical beach, shall we? Okay. So we hopefully find something that's lovely there. Well, let's go for this. Nice day to choose that for. Okay. And this, whatever size box holder that you have for your website, okay, it will actually fit that for you. So I don't know if you've been using websites before or not, or how they work, kind of stuff, etc. Well, what's happened is before you'd have a little box and you wanted to fill it, you would drag a picture into that and you would try and stretch it out and fill it with that. With Wix, if you've got the box there, basically, and you say you want to change the image within the box, it will change it and it will resize itself as well. Now, we've got all of that information on there. We're not going to edit it at this stage. I'm just looking for something else. Is it under settings? Yes, under settings. There we go. So how the image behaves. Do you want a link put into that? So we can certainly put a link onto this page, okay? And it can go to, at the moment, it goes to Wenta page, basically, just to show you that link, etc. But you can go to different places around, maybe to a special offer page or anything like that. I'm going to show you how that happens in a second. But name your images. Tell Google what your image is about. Remember, your website is going to be, initially image-based. Okay, it's going to be image-based. It's, so making it really nice and clever looking for all your customers, enticing them to come on, stay on board. And us humans, we like images. We like lovely images. To look at this, and then we'll click through to obviously find out our relevant information as such on that side. But when you have images on a website, they don't work for search engines. Search engines can't see videos and they can't see images. So it doesn't work. So what do? We actually tell Google what that image is about, or give it a name. So instead of calling it 123.jpg, okay, which is what sometimes if you upload a picture, that's what it would be called. Make sure you rename it, okay? And then when you go down here, you tell Google what that name is. Because if I put tropical island, and I put Yola travel in there, okay, this will narrow it down, okay. This is what basically search engines will pick up. So anybody types that in to search engines, okay, maybe they've been to our website, maybe they don't, or maybe they've heard of our travel agents and they just put in YOLO travel, tropical highland or something like that because they're looking for tropical getaways. It will bring them to this website. It will bring them to this website, and you may, if anybody else has used the same kind of stuff, it will obviously show on the search results, yeah. But otherwise, it will show them in the search results. Clients click on it, and then they come over here. There's a tooltip that you can add. You don't have to add it. A tooltip, basically, I had a different image in there. It's beach wedding. So once we put something in there, we'll put tropical beach in there again. If you put tropical beach in there, okay, so that saves it automatically. If I go onto the preview section there, it has a link already, okay, so this image doesn't have a link, but this one does. It has the arrow. But if I if you see there, if I was, as soon as my mouse goes on there, it says it's a tropical beach. It's ideal for certain people of disability as such to have a read on that. But also it can give your clients an idea of what it's all about at the end of the day, if it's a hard picture to read, etc. Not a necessity, but can help for SEO and so on, okay. And then that's the link, basically. Obviously they say went off to a link because we had a link in there, okay. And I keep pressing that, bear with me. Let's get rid of that header and rid of that and go back to the editor. That's where it was. So yeah, you can obviously have different things happening on the actual image there. We've got edit there. We can contrast, do brightness, can change the brightness on it. Saturation, you know, that doesn't look too good there. That looks quite warm and nice there. I'll cool it down a bit, etc. Create slightly warmer temperature. Sharpness, tints, you can have tinting on there. Do you want a red tint or a different color tint on there? Green tint, let's have a look at green tint on there. Different things of functionality. So you don't need even a photographic kind of you know, package or anything like that. You can do a lot of kind of stuff on there. You can enhance it as well. So, you know, it'll auto enhance for you if you wish on that. You'll go through the picture and really make it stand out a little bit. Hopefully, it looks appealing. It's very red, isn't it? So I don't think that was really good on that side. Let's do adjust and we'll take that red tint off. There we go. And we're happy about it. We'll save that. Okay, and we can obviously, it'll add it probably to our library as such, so we can use it at a different, you know, any other time over the website as well. Just waiting for it to go. Then there we go, it's imploded in there and it's probably saved it into our library as well. So lots of things that you can basically do on there. Like I said, the link was there. If I wanted to change the link to something else, maybe I wanted to go to a page on my website. This is all the different pages I've got. That remember that page I clicked created before? If I wanted to go to that page, I just do this. And if I want it open to a new window, I can do so. So let's do that and done. So if we look preview on there, and if it clicks here, if I click on that, only work. Oh, it's only going to work if it's being published. So that's not going to work there. I think it'll just work on external links. But you know, this is how it's going to basically work. You can add links on there to other different. Maybe I'll try current. It should work. But sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's have a look at this. Preview. There we go. Yeah, it's only working within it. It won't go to external pages. There we go. There we go. So that's where that link goes through. And if I wanted to go back home, we'll just go back home or click the logo and I'll back home. And that's where we are. Okay, so very straightforward to do things, etc. It's really, you know, ideal. Like I said, you know, if you wanted to add text or anything, let's add a bit of text here for us. Let's do this. We'll go down here. We'll go up here. We'll add a heading. Okay, we'll add something there and just double click it. Welcome to Yola Travel. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to, might help if I spell things correctly. Welcome to Yellow Travel. So I've got that on the side here for the text functionality. It gives me kind of fonts. I've got a whole list of fonts that I can choose from. Okay, and just choose whatever fonts I kind of want. I can pick and choose the size of it. What will happen is you've got to do this. And then you can choose the type of font that you want, okay, and that'll change it. Size type, you can change to whatever you like, kind of stuff, yeah, okay. So let's leave it at that around there. Color bold, you can have color on there, so let's make it stand out a bit more. So we'll change it to basically this color. That looks pretty good, etc. Let's try that. I can have it highlighted as well, a background color. So I can have a background color on there if I wanted to. So I can have, you know, any kind of colors on there. There we go. I can add a link to it. Justify whichever I want. Center justified. I can do all of this. Right, click it as well. So, you know, lots of different things I can basically do. Bullet points and so on, effects, which will be you know, shadows, you know, if I wanted a shadow on there. The most important thing to remember is that if you use a lot of functionality on these new websites nowadays, you need to understand that some of these functionalities may not work on older PCs, phones, etc. They may not have that technology to showcase everything, and it may look quite different. Even when you're picking out sort of fonts and things like that that are on your list, you know, yeah, italics and things like that, they look beautiful on your website, on your computer, but if you look at it sometimes on older generation phones or something, italics don't look too good. So try and keep everything very readable so that you've got the whole kind of clients that you want to get in touch with, you know, it can be advertised to all. Now we've got this titling and so on. I might want to stretch it out and put it on one line. So you just got to grab the handles on the side and you can do that. I might want to move it around. I can move it around anywhere I want, etc. I can, you know, wherever I want it to go, it can go. Let's pop it into this. Let's put it in the top here so it's easier to read. Okay, I'm just going to try and find the middle of everything. There we go. And, you know, did you see that little bit there that came up? Where's it gone? Attached to, it's not showing up. But it says attached to slide. I can attach it to the slide, so it will just work on its own to the slide and attach itself. But that's fine, we'll do that. AI keeps coming up as well. I can have a little animation going to it as well. So I can have that title do all these kind of functionalities. Okay, so let's have a look at something like that and preview it and see what happens. There we go. I've got all that functionality coming in on that side, yeah? So just going back. So lots of different interactive things that you can add and do for your, you know, for your website. We're going to add basically a section to this now. So let's add a little section to this. I'm going to just add a straightforward section here. Okay. We've added that section. It's all dropped down. I don't like this box. I don't want this. I don't like the background section. So what we'll do is we'll put a color in, shall we? Let's just do a color here. Easily done, straightforward. Okay, all done. I'm going to show you how to basically add a video to your website quite quickly. So you've got, go to video. We like that. Just drag and drop that there. Drop that down here. Okay, we like that. You can change the size of this video window to whatever you like. The smallest it goes is like that, and it can go quite large, etc. So we'll keep it within these tram lines. We'll keep it all straight and positive. Yep, there's a video in there, but we want to change it. Okay, so you can upload your own video from your computer. You can have YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, Dailymotion, and Twitch on there as well. We're going to go for sort of YouTube videos on this side. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open up this, go to Google, and we're going to go to our YouTube channel here. Okay, it's going to load up stuff. So let's have a look at tropical holidays. So we're going to have a look at tropical holidays. So that seems to be pretty nice. So we'll open this up and put that onto pause, etc. And at the bottom here, you've got the share button. So if you click the share button, it will give you a code. Okay, so just copy that. If you wanted this video to start a particular stage, you know, maybe 20 minutes in or something like that, etc. Well, it's only 8 minutes long, but if you wanted to go in sort of 2 minutes, 3 minutes in, you can certainly do that. If you click this button, you can tell it where to start and it'll add that particular code to the end of it. But we're not going to do that. So we'll just dive back into here, highlight that, delete that, and obviously paste that in. And we've got a video in there. Okay. Again, give it a description, okay? So we'll call it tropical holidays, or narrow it down to basically something, because it works as a search criteria. So narrow it down for yourself. Any particular hotel, any particular place that you're advertising with a special offer on, pop that into there, because anybody's looking for that particular special place that they want to go on, or particular beach that they want to go on, etc. Then pop those details in there, and that narrows down the search criteria over Google itself on that side. Yeah. So we've got that video in place now, looking quite smart on our video on our website. As you see, if we go into preview, client comes along, they'll see the website. Lovely, excellent. Okay, press play.
Top 20 best tropical
and
vacations.
That video plays. That's streaming from
travelers.
basically.
Welcome back to your travel passport.
That's streaming back from obviously YouTube. You can clients can change the volume and so on. So that's all happening there for you at the start. They can pause it as well. So lots of different things that people can actually do on that side. Just going back, and there we go. We've got obviously a video attached straightforward, and you can do you can add a number of kind of things to this as well, as much as you like on that side. Just moving up to the slide sections and making sure we're on path. So we added the video, that's all good, embedding it as well. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is structuring your website. Now, this is essential. By all means, play at your heart's content on Wix. It's free to sort of register. Okay, they won't ask you for card payments or anything like that. Register your email, register yourself, etc., and you can start doing what I've been doing. I'm using a free account. Play with it to your heart's content, etc., and play with different designs and so on. So try and build those up and see how it looks. But sooner or later, move away from it kind of stuff, and then be serious about what you want to do. Maybe you have made a template and you're really happy with that. But lock it down, make a map out of it to make sure you know what the structure of your website is. Homepage, the sections, different sections that you need to go through, outlining things, keeping short, concise descriptions or text, basically telling people about your business and what you do and all of these kind of things. Okay, so make it all, the most important part of it is how you're going to structure it for your links, your internal links, and where they're going to take it. Okay, your menu structure, where clients are going to be taken to, how quickly when they look for the products are they going to basically find it. I'm going to show you an example. So at the moment, we've got sort of my products. We've got, my products. We've got 3 products. We've got hats, coats, and we've got jeans as well. Okay, hats, coats, and jeans that we have already. So at this particular moment, say for example, I was looking for something in the hat range. I click on that. It gives me the 3 best-selling hats that I'm selling at the present moment. I'm looking for the best bowler hat. So I'll go along and read a little bit about the best bowler hat, etc., and click on that. It takes me straight to the bowler hat page, gives me a brief description of everything about what the bowler hat is, who wore it, how it's being made, etc., and a call to action to buy now for £9.99. Okay, so I can click on that, pop that into my cart, and it's done. Within 2 clicks, I've actually purchased a product. That's what you want to do. I know there's going to be times when there's going to be other scenarios involved, like sizes and color and all of these kind of things. Okay, but if I had a drop down menu on here, a drop down box or something to say what color, what size, again, clients can pick that and then pop that into the cart straight away. Menu structures, you've got your home page, you've got your products, you've got your menus, and then you've got your products, hats, coats, and trousers. Again, advertising your 3 best sellers and so on. So that's not good, because some might be looking for something totally different. But it's just giving you a quick example of how clients can get quickly to some place other on your website or look for something in particular. So I click on this, and then basically the search menu would come up. Okay, and I can type in what I'm searching for, and I'd have a search menu on the hats, the coats, and the trousers, so people can find anything in particular that they're looking for. This is how the menu kind of structure literally works all the way around. So it goes all the way around on this. It's got the home, about, product page, with the 3 products pages on there. You've got your contact, you've got gallery, you've got blog, So all of these guys are there basically. So structure these down, write them on a piece of paper like this, and then what you need to do is make sure you know where those links are going to as well. Okay, remember when search engines come along and they start looking at your website, etc., they will check every single link that's on your page. So if you've highlighted a hyperlink, or you've created a link or something like that, so maybe from your blog to a particular article, but you remove that article later on, or remove that item later on, but you still got that link, okay, that's going to show up as an error 400 or error 404. That's not good. Search engines don't like certain errors like that. They want to give clients a good, positive, basically, experience when they use the search engine. They want to show their clients that are searching and using their search engine good quality websites. If they come along to your website, search engines come along to your website and scan through it and find there's lots of errors in there, or they don't understand what you're actually doing or talking about on your website, they will be confused. They don't know where to show you up on any search results pages. And basically what will happen, and if it's like lots of errors showing up or anything like that, they will drop your ranking right down. They will drop your ranking. They won't push you up to the high ranks. Okay, so this is literally what happens here. This is literally what happens here, and you've got to make sure your website is correctly itemized. It's done what the search engines want. Okay, it functions well. It's good quality. It shows off beautifully all your products and services, etc. Okay. But main thing, it functions and loads up very quickly, and all the other things that the search engines want. Okay, otherwise they won't show you, and that's why a lot of websites, no matter what they do to it, it just basically hovers at the bottom ranks. It's never shown up really high at the top of the rankings, because they've not optimized their website for the search engine itself. And you don't just do it for for Google. Do it for the other ones. There's clients out there who use is it Bing? Yeah, Bing, Yahoo. There's AltaVista, I think it's still around. I don't know. AOL is still there as well, apparently. But yeah, these guys are around everywhere. So there's lots of different, like I said, search engines what different clients will use. So make sure you optimize it for all, and you basically submit it to all these search engines as well. Don't think Google is the only one there, but submit it to other engines as well out there. So create your links, make sure where they're going to, how they're going to. As you see from here, from home, you've got to get to all the major pages. From the products ones, you've got product 1, product 2, product 3. It's going back to the product pages as well. And then you've got the gallery function. You've got it from products, all the products to the gallery, and I would have it going back again as well. This is how websites are actually read, okay, in the Western world, from the top left to the top right to the bottom right. It's scanned through. This is how the clients skim through a website, basically. All right, they skim through the websites like that. So it's really good. Make sure all the information. Obviously, we're going to write top left to top right, and bottom and so on. Left to right, we're going to write. But this is how people actually read through websites. Okay. So sometimes having the most important feature in the middle of the website here is kind of ideal for them to get there. Now, search engine optimization. You've created that really, really brilliant website. It's taken you weeks, maybe a month or so, etc. over time, and you've created that website. Looks lovely. You look at it and it looks beautiful. At the end of the day, you've shown it to a lot of friends and family, and they absolutely love it, and it works and functions well. But you need to do search engine optimization. Okay, this is when you're optimizing your website so that search engines come and look at it and basically index that website basically so that they can show you up in the results page. If you don't tell search engines that you're here and so on, it will take a fair little while for them to discover you. Okay, and even longer nowadays, because obviously you know, last time I heard, Google really wants to push the green initiative. If you look at any browser at the bottom for Google, it says we've gone green since 2006 kind of stuff. But they still, you know, when they send their spider out to find websites and information, they send it every so often. They send it every 2-3 months now. Okay, but soon they're going to stop. They're going to send it every 6 months or even longer periods of time. So your website needs to be well tuned by the time they come over, because it's not too often that they're going to come around anymore, because obviously sending a spider out, etc., it takes up computing power, and that's what's you know, that's why they want to turn green. So they want to, or they are green, but they want to slow that down and not send it out too often as such. So optimizing your website is very important. You've got to basically make sure you tell search engines that you're here. You use a right type of keywords inside all your blogs and the write-ups that you do to ensure that basically you're working correctly with everything. Okay, so keywords are, what are keywords? Keywords are where people will type in certain types of information to find information, etc. So they will type this into search engines, and search engines will go through their indexing. So once they've visited your website, they will have logged all of that information, basically indexed it, and what will happen is they will basically come over, you know, they'll show your website on the search results page. That's what they will literally do. Okay, and so make sure you use correct keywords or different types of keywords that people can actually find you. Turn yourself around into being a customer for yourself. What would you type into Google to actually find your type of business? Any kind of particular bit, you know, products or services that you're doing, anything unusual? What would you type into Google to find yourself, find all these keywords and so on? Now, there is 3 major types of obviously search functionality. One's, and they're navigational, informational, and transactional. They're the 3 main categories, and a lot of the search criteria do fall into that. Okay, so navigational is when somebody knows what they're looking for. They've got your URL, and they can find you, you know, they can find you, and that's navigational. So if they want to go to YouTube, they go to YouTube. They want to go Facebook, so they can go to these web pages quite quickly and easily on that side. Informational is when the user is looking for information, how to, okay, how to kind of information. So they'll start off their search criteria with how to and so on. And then you got transactional, because then it'll be how, you know, I want to buy. They're looking to buy something, so they'll probably, I want to buy a cooker or a washing machine or something like that. They'll type that in. They're the 3 main types of search engines, search types that people will commonly type into searches. But they can type anything else into the search criteria, into Google or search, you know, Bing or Yahoo or any other search engine, to find out who you are and how you operate on that side. You know, use correct keywords. Look for those keywords. There's Google keywords everywhere. There's another place called Answer the Public. If you've ever come across it, I don't know. I think it gives you 3 searches free of charge per day. It is a premium site, and then you have to subscribe or kind of stuff, or you can go back every day for 3 searches a daily kind of. But otherwise, it's a premium website. You have to subscribe. But that website basically tells you what people are actually typing into Google or search engines to find businesses like yourself. So you would put in, if you're a business coach, you would put in business coach advice services or something like that, and it will tell you what, you know, clients are actually typing in to find those kind of services, and maybe you can use those keywords particularly onto your website as well. So use keywords in titles, subtitles, body text. Use it in many places as possible, basically, because once a search engine comes along, they're going to obviously look through and collect that information. Like I showed you, use the keywords in tags, you know, keyword tags in pictures and videos, because spiders, etc., can't see images and videos. So basically use keywords in pictures and video as such. Keywords on web pages, okay? So make sure you know, you got meta tags and meta titling done as well, and I'll show you in a second where that happens as well on Wix. So you can basically submit your sort of meta titling and meta tag, meta descriptions to basically Google that way as well. Good, you know, Wix has a lot of functionality, which I'll show you in a second, and helping you to get sort of seen by search engines, especially Google as such. Now, disregard the last bit, check out competition. You no longer be able to do that. It went, you know, it finished in about 2015. Before we were allowed to basically check out what our competitors' keywords were. If you right click on any website, you'll see a bunch of coding, and if you can decipher it, you'll see at the top right there, it says keywords and meta descriptions and so on. You'll be able to basically put that in, etc. Okay, so that's where it all used to be, but it stopped working quite a few years ago, kind of stuff. But you know, adding meta titles, meta descriptions, that's going to be another way of telling search engines what your web page, what your different web pages are all about. So here we go. We're going to have a look at some web pages and obviously the background of them, to so that you can see how you can do your SEO. I'm just going to jump back onto the website itself. Bear with me while I just find that page. Here we go. So we create our pages. We've got all these pages up the top here. So if you go into the page section here, okay, this is all a page of your, you know, a list of all your pages as such. Okay, so what you do there now. One thing also, when you're doing your website, when you're, you know, creating your website, etc., if you have any pages on there that you're not going to use and you're going to probably hide them from the general public, okay, remember, if you're hiding them, that's hidden that page. Okay, so that's hiding. Clients can't see it. You're hiding it from clients and yourself, etc., from seeing it. But search engines can still see that page, okay? And that can downscore you on certain pages if you haven't finished them off or anything like that. So if you're going to hide a page or start a page and not deploy it until you're finished, so, you know, be quick about it, because, you know, if the search engine comes along and they see a lot of pages that are hidden, it doesn't know it's hidden. They think it's open to the general public. But if they, you know, if it's going to low score because you're not finished them off or anything, it doesn't have much text or anything like that, then that's going to cause problems in your SEO scoring as such. Okay, so be very careful about that. If that page is not being used, okay, just go in here and delete it. If you're not going to use that, delete it. I come across a lot of web pages, and when I do certain sort of reports and put out certain reports on it, it tells me that basically there's all these pages, they're sitting there doing nothing. And search engines are counting it as your website. If they're not, and they're templates, they're basically just sitting there as templates. They're being hidden from the client, so that's fine. But search engines are still trying to score it against your, you know, on your website, and give you a score pointing on that. If you're not going to use them, delete them, because it will just not, you know, be ideal for you. So as you said, we've deleted that web page. Okay, we're going to go in here and look at a little bit of SEO. Click the three dots and go into SEO basics. Okay, go into here, and here we go is basically our title tag here and our meta description at the bottom. This is how it will look on Google when your search criteria comes up. If you look at it carefully here, I've put save hundreds on your tropical weddings, okay? Because we had that tropical wedding theme going on previously. So maybe you want to change that to tropical holidays. Let's have a look. We say tropical holidays, okay? Save hundreds on your tropical holidays. Ends soon. Okay, yeah. On that side, there's limited space that you can put it in there. It tells you how you can do that, and it changes up the top here. This is a meta description, so nobody can see this. That is the little bit that sits underneath here, underneath your entry in Google as such, okay, and tells the customer a little bit about yourself or what the page is about. When they come to it, they won't see it because it's all hidden away down here kind of stuff. This is, I know Google says it's about, Wix says it's about 500 pages. Oh, they've finally changed it. This used to say 500 pages, 500 pages, 500 characters. It's actually 155 to 165 characters that you can actually use, okay? Don't put 500 characters in there like it used to. So it's finally changed. So 155 to 165 characters, okay, including spaces. Just to summarize what that page is about, not your website, what that page is actually about, okay? Because each page you're going to have to do a different meta description for. So each page has its own SEO basics. I've not done anything for this about page, etc. But there we go. This is what it's going to be, you know, yola.com about, okay? And put in there, we have been operating since 1990, have and I don't know, my mind's gone totally blank. But you put something in there up to 155 to 165 kind of characters in there, and that's when different pages will have their different bits in there. I've just put that bit in there kind of stuff, okay, to highlight it. But that's safe for you, but obviously put a lot more information in there kind of stuff, and that will assist you in you know, assist search engines to find you and deliver the right pages. Remember, sometimes when we're putting the search criteria into search engines, and it won't take us to the home page, it will take us to another page on the website. It will take us to a totally different page. That's where, because they're getting that information from there, and our search criteria is asking for information like that, basically. So on there, remember also on here, I didn't just put YOLO travel just at the top here, okay? I've put a really selective, nice title, save hundreds of pounds on your tropical holidays, end soon kind of, yeah? Just to entice people. So when people see it, if I just put YOLO.com on there or something like that, not going to make much sense to anybody or anything like that. But I've put a catchy title on there where people will be going to be saving hundreds of pounds. That's what people will be kind of interested in as such. So that's where you do some SEO. So you would do that for all your different pages. Do not copy all this information from one page to another. It doesn't do any good for you at the end of the day. In fact, it takes you down the other way, downgrades you, etc. But once you've done that, you've added, you know, all this will come into effect, obviously, once you've gone, you've published your website and you've attached a domain name, okay? Don't attach a domain name. First attach a domain name, and then make sure you fill in all these SEO bits, okay? Otherwise, you know, it doesn't work too well. And once you've done all of that, click on SEO Whiz. It will go through even more functionality to make sure that your website is basically, you know, optimized for Google as such, okay? I'll press get started, but I don't think we'll ever see anything come up. No, it doesn't. It starts asking me for it because there's nothing attached to it. But here you will go through quite a few steps here. You go from between 1 to 6 steps, and there's different types of steps inside between each step, etc. You go through all those kind of steps. It tells you to even create a favicon. A favicon is basically this up here. So can you see the Wix sign here at the top here where my mouse is going around? That's called a favicon. You should have that as well. That should be your logo. So that basically that goes towards search engine optimization also as well. Okay. So let's just go back to the website. Here we go. So make sure you go to the SEO Whiz and complete all the steps on the SEO Whiz as well, because that will be really handy for you to do. It will encourage you to sign up to Google Search Console, because remember I said to you, Google comes along every so often and you know, looks at your website and, you know, goes through it, indexes it. Well, If you actually register your website on Google Search Console, then basically you're doing that faster. You're telling search engine, you're telling Google to come along to your website and say, I've launched my website, have a look at it and come and index it very quickly. And they will come and do it quite quickly, etc. Okay. But setting that up, you've got to set that up, and within Wix, it helps you to do that as well for yourself. Okay. So make sure that you kind of do that. Only do this once you have your domain name connected to the actual website and your website is actually published as well. Jumping onto the slide side. So I showed you this. Now, Google Analytics is there as well. So like I said, Search Console's there basically to introduce your website to sort of search engine like Google, etc. But then there's Google Analytics. Google Analytics basically is again part of Google. It's changed a lot over the last year or so, especially in July. I had a major overhaul. And I've not had a chance to actually look at it in depth, but there is a lot of tools, a lot of things in there that can tell you if your website works well or it doesn't. Okay. Now, the kind of main topics that it has on there is basically, if you can see here, where your clients are coming from. Okay. So 64% is coming from organic search, which is good. 15% from social, 13% from direct, and yellow is the extra percentage on that side. So that's where it's coming from. So organically, we're doing well. We're getting 64% people are coming from just search engine, with looking on search engines and coming through. A lot of them coming through social as well, and a lot of people, 13% just typing in our web address and coming directly straight there. This is when it's spiking up as well. So our website, when it's spiking, when it's got the most amount of visitors on and so on. So it's got peaks and troughs. Okay. Bear this, keep this in mind, keep an eye on these things. When is your peak times? It will give you an idea when people are coming onto your website, when your peak times are, kind of stuff. Okay. So make sure you keep an eye on all of those things. We've got down here basically the kind of clients that are coming through, new sessions. We've got new users, okay. How many people are new, how many people are old users coming through, etc. Our bounce rate, okay, so that's 80%. It's not very good. It should be a lot lower than that, basically around 50%, 60%, around that time period. Bounce rates are when people come onto websites and then go off the website. We want clients to come onto the website and stay on our website, buy something from our website, or spend as much time as possible on our website. The longer and the more they stay on our website, Google can see it, search engines can see it, and they like that behavior from the client because they think that you have something really good to offer. Okay. So all that functionality is all there. Pages, sessions, everything, it shows you basically how it's doing on there. There's a lot of information that comes on there as well, regards to what area you're getting traffic from, gender types, all the demographic types, all of that kind of information that comes through. So it makes you understand if your website is working for you or it isn't as such. Okay, so make sure you register for Google Analytics at some stage as well. To understand how that works for your website and give you what how it's working for everything, how your website is working. Is it giving you results or it isn't? There's web and legal compliance. So a little bit of that basically, because there's some legal compliance that you've got to go through. GDPR regulations were brought in around 2017, 2018, basically, and require you to have the following. So privacy policy, you must have on your website. A lot of people put it tucked away at the bottom there. People can click on it. Clients want to know what you're going to be doing with their data when you collect it. So, if there's a filling in form or a contact form to be filled in, before filling in, they may look at to see how the data is being kept, how you keeping the data and so on. and what you're doing with that data and why you're collecting it and all these kind of things. Yeah, so privacy policy is there for you to have, put onto your website. Cookie policy is a must as well. Web search engines will look for privacy policy. They will look for cookie policy. Okay, it's going to change soon, very soon. I've heard that cookie policies are going to go away soon. You may not need a cookie on your website, but Google has something else in mind of that they're going to ask you to install on your website. But cookies are there for the moment, and so are privacy policies. And overall website security, make sure you have adequate cyber security to protect your data that you're receiving from clients. And if you're receiving a lot of data through Wix and so on, I would advise you to go over there and basically download that information every so often. So if anything happens, you don't, you've not lost all that information at all. The Equalities Act, formerly the Disability Discrimination Act, okay? Content must be accessible to people with disabilities. Regardless of disability, your content should be really nicely placed and well written. So, people with all types of disabilities can actually see what your content is about. If you're using bright colors, fonts that are hardly readable, and then if they're looking at your mobile or the tablet form and it's a bit difficult, it's difficult to read, for any general person, then obviously people with disabilities are going to have even bigger problems as well, kind of stuff. Okay, so be careful with it. Use like about up to 3 fonts, very clear, good size as well, not too small, not too large, good size to use, etc. So make sure you use, look at your website and make sure you're not using too many bright colors and small fonts and so on. Everything looks perfect and it's readable very easily as well. There's also guidelines published by the World Wide Web Consortium as well, so you can certainly have a look at certain guidelines on that as well. And not required by law, but best practice. A disclaimer can help protect the business from claims for loss or damages as a result of someone using a website and relying on the information provided on it. Copyright notice states clearly how website content, images, and the business's logo may be used. And then you've got terms of website use can cover issues such as acceptable and acceptable use of the website. So, have a look at all of these things on there as well. Make sure, your website's clearly written, is well sort of set out, well placed, fonts are a good size, images are a good size, and so on. So pay-per-click, okay, that's another platform. So a lot of websites that are e-commerce, okay, they can't do much at search engine optimization because they've got products there. They've got images of their product, a little bit of write-up, and that's it. So there's not much write-up that you can do to promote it towards search engines and so on. So this is where pay-per-click comes in, search engine marketing, where you pay search engines, okay, so that you can end up at the top of basically the search results as such. That's what search engine marketing is, okay? So you will pay Google, okay, a set amount of fee, etc., that you feel like. You will bid for certain words or keywords, okay, to make sure that you end up at the top. Okay, Google will promote you because you're paying for those kind of words, okay, and it will promote you to the top of the page so that people will actually find you and click on your website and come to you. Do this only if your website is really nicely done and finished, okay, and if you have a budget for this. You must have a budget for this. This is not a one-off scenario. Yes, when you sign up, they give you that £80 ad voucher kind of stuff, like I showed you. Sometimes it can go up to £200 as well. Okay, so use it wisely. Have a go at it. Play with it. Use a couple of £100 or the £80 or whatever they give you with it. Understand how pay-per-click works if you're going to use it, because when you start adding your money, you want to make sure it works for you at the end of the day. And then what will happen is you'll add some money, you'll add a certain amount of money, and you put a basically stop on it that I want to use maybe £100 a month. Okay, if lots of people click on it and it, you know, within a half a month, £100 is being used, Google will come back to say, hey, do you want to add some more money to it or wait for the new month to start? That's entirely your choice. If you're getting lots of sales coming through, then it's ideal to carry on with it, obviously, because it's working for you as such. But you will have to, you know, pick your keywords. Google will let you write the actual ad as well. Okay. I'll show you an example in a second. And then you obviously, like I said, you decide what you want to pay as such. Okay. So pay per click. So these are like plumbers in Stevenage. Well, that was the keywords. Okay. And plumber in Stevenage, plumbers in Stevenage plumber. Plumbers in Stevenage. These guys have actually written this ad to specifically for Google Ads, and Google Ads is showing it up here at the top of the page. Now they show a few ads at the top and they show a few ads at the bottom as well, okay, to capture people. So when people do sort of scroll down a little bit, they can see different ads of businesses at the present moment as well. It's now a world logo instead of an ad logo as such, okay. But this is what you do. You create this, you write this, and then obviously that's basically pushed forward onto the business page as such, and this is where you could land up at the top of Google. So if somebody looks for plumbers in Stevenage, they're going to probably look at the first few before they move all the way kind of down on that side. But make sure you do it as a for a long period of time or a period of time. Don't just do it for a week or a month or so, because what will happen is that when you pay the money, your website will start rising in the ranks as more visitors come to it. As soon as you stop, it will drop that back down again. Okay, the more continuous you do it, 2, 3, 4, I would say about 4 months, 5 months, 6 months onwards, you carry on doing continuous. Okay, anything shorter than that is not really worth your while, and you'll have to keep jump starting it over and again. Try and do this. I mean, I used to do it continuously for over 12 months. Okay, putting a good amount of money into that, and it was bringing in lots of customers, and that will help your website even organically rise the ranks of searchability as well on that side. Okay, so make sure you've got enough budget to basically use over a certain period of time, like 6 months or whatever. Make sure you register for Google Business. Okay, so set up for Google Business, who will then basically pop you onto Google Maps as well. And they'll open the reviewing function and website functions as well. So reviewing functions, people can leave you reviews, okay, onto Google itself, give you a star rating, write something about you as such, and they will do that for you. Like I said, look at the star ratings here, because like I was looking for something yesterday and there was a whole host of different people. You know what I was looking at? I was looking at the star rating and the comments of people that are left, okay, and I started going for people who had the most amount of reviews and the most amount of stars or quality, basically interception with them. There's one there which is True Silver. That it's not on basically Google, probably it's not subscribed to Google Business or anything like that, which is not a good thing to do. But like I said, register with Google Business, so then you'll be shown on basically search results, directions, websites, all of this. You can put, there'll be links on there to all those functionalities that you have on that side. So what will also happen is basically there's a sitemap that is created. A sitemap tells search engines how many pages are in each basically website. Okay, so sitemap is essential. Wix will basically create that in the background for you as well. There is other functionalities that you can do and add up a specific sitemap if you wish to. You're going to have to basically You can go into Google and find a sitemap submitter, and you can basically do that. Yeah, but sitemaps are available, and they're essential. So make sure you have one for your website on your website. With Wix, it's there already. And basically, so just coming to the end of the webinar kind of stuff. So make sure your account security is there. Pay for and ensure your domain name, ensure you own the domain name. Ensure you have all the admin rights to your content management system, and that you distribute editor rights to developers and agencies alike. Okay. Everything that you register, or any account you register, Google Search Console, AdWords, Analytics, domain name, whatever you have, make sure it's either in your name or your business name. No other agency or intermediary should basically own any part of anything or have their name registered as owner of a particular thing, because they can hold you to ransom. Excuse me. They can hold you to ransom long term. Okay, so don't make that mistake. And because if you don't pay them, or there's a falling out or anything, they're going to say, I'm not going to release the passwords to you, I'm not going to release the account details to you, and they can turn like that, and then you're out of, you don't have a website as such, do you? So make sure you own everything, and you give everyone else contributor rights basically to use for coming or using one of your accounts as such. So that's just coming to the end of the webinar, guys. If you have any questions, please pop them into the chat box or raise your hand. I can certainly unmute you. And we can have a chat with regards to this. If you want more information, certainly book up an appointment, and let's have a chat. If you're creating your website or anything like that, we can certainly have a talk with regards to that as well. So if you get any questions, please pop them through. Hopefully this webinar has been informative for you. You've learned something on there, and gives you the courage to basically get yourself a website as such, and create a website for your own self as such on there. Great stuff, Kat. Thank you. No questions from me. That was really informative. Thank you so much. Glad to hear it, Kat. Thank you so much for your time coming on for this Friday afternoon as well. Anyone else have any questions, then please obviously pop them into the chat box. But do check out all our other sort of webinars that we have. We've got loads of other different types of webinars. Do check them out. They're free. They'll give you lots of information and give you ideas on how to push your business along and so on at the end of the day. But thank you so much for coming on this afternoon. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much, Kat, as well, being interactive as well. Thank you very much as well, and hope to see you on some more webinars soon. Great stuff. I'll wait on a few minutes just in case somebody does have any questions as such. But like I said, thank you so much for attending today. You'll all get a recording of the webinar in a couple of days as well. It'll be Monday or Tuesday now that you'll get it. And thank you so much for coming on. Great stuff. And yourself, Kat. Thank you. And have a great weekend. Thank you. Right, if there's no questions, I'm going to sort of terminate in a short while. Just I'll wait on a few minutes more, and then obviously I'll do that. Thank you. Right, if there's no questions, I'm going to disconnect now. So thank you very much and have a great weekend, guys. Thank you.